Princess Charlotte's royal rise, the bittersweet truth, behind her public transformation to succeed. Queen Camila, Charlotte. That's the name that has started to stir intense debates behind palace walls and among millions of viewers online. Once known simply as the daughter of Prince William and Kate Middleton, Princess Charlotte has now become a symbol of something much deeper and much more divisive. Inside the palace, not everyone is pleased with the way things are unfolding. Royal insiders whisper about growing concerns that the young princess is being molded too fast, too publicly, and with too much weight on her small shoulders. This isn't just another royal fairy tale. It's a storm building quietly behind the polished gates of Kensington Palace. Frustration is brewing. Some staff members feel the pressure to make Charlotte perfect in public is doing more harm than good. Behind the scenes, there's talk of conflict, of long arguments between aides, and growing tension between modern parenting choices and royal expectations. Every decision about Charlotte, from her schooling to her public appearances, sparks debate. There's a belief among some that she's being pushed into the spotlight too early, without the normal buffer of childhood innocence. For those who have watched the royal family for decades, it's a painful reminder of the late Princess Diana's struggles with visibility and public pressure. And then there's the bitterness. Bitter glances exchanged behind the scenes. Bitter words spoken in private. Some palace figures reportedly feel that Charlotte is becoming the face of the monarchy in a way that leaves little room for her own identity. They say it quietly, of course, but make no mistake, it stings. The pressure to protect her image, control her movements, and script her moments has left many wondering if she is growing up under a microscope too intense for any child to endure. But here's where the story changes, and where it starts to shine. Because in the middle of all this conflict, Charlotte has done something few expected. She's risen, not just in the public eye, but as a confident, poised young girl who seems to carry the weight of the crown with a natural ease that defies her age. Her transformation has stunned everyone, including her own parents. It isn't just about learning to wave or curtsy, it's about presence. It's about how she walks into a room now with certainty, how she holds her head high at events that most children would shy away from. It's about grace under pressure, and a surprising strength that few saw coming. Prince William has been visibly moved by his daughter's growth. Those close to the family have shared how emotional he became during a recent public engagement, wiping away tears as Charlotte engaged confidently with guests and dignitaries. It wasn't rehearsed, it wasn't forced, it was real. And for a father who has tried to shield his children from the harshest parts of royal life, it was a bittersweet moment. His little girl wasn't so little anymore. What adds to the complexity is the way Charlotte interacts with her father. Their bond is unmistakable. It's not the stiff, scripted affection royal watchers are used to. It's genuine, personal. He calls her Mignonette, a soft nickname filled with love and admiration. It's a whisper shared in the back seats of cars or in the quiet moments away from flashing cameras. It's a reminder that beneath the royal titles and traditions, there is simply a father and daughter trying to hold on to something real. Kate Middleton's role in this transformation can't be overlooked. While the world watches her in designer dresses and polished heels, behind closed doors, she is the steady, gentle hand that guides Charlotte through it all. Whether it's brushing her hair away before an event or kneeling down to give her last-minute reassurance, Kate has become a master of subtle support. She doesn't force Charlotte into the spotlight. She prepares her for it. And that's a distinction that matters more than most people realize. One of the most powerful moments in Charlotte's journey came at the Chelsea Flower Show. Gone was the shy little girl who once clung to her mother. In her place stood someone different, someone more aware, more composed, more curious. She wasn't just tagging along. She was engaging, asking thoughtful questions, and holding her own in conversations that would intimidate adults. It was, then, say insiders, that William and Kate exchanged a glance that said everything. She had crossed over. Childhood was beginning to fade. The shift has only become more visible. At public events, Charlotte no longer hides behind her parents. She walks with confidence, sometimes ahead of them. She watches the crowd. She senses when to speak and when to stay silent. And none of it feels fake. There's no stiff rehearsal in her movements. It feels natural, a balance of innocence and awareness. And yet, that growth has sparked new tension. Behind palace doors, some argue that her transformation is happening too quickly. The worry is that her visibility is rising faster than her readiness. Others fear the monarchy is depending too much on her image to shape the family's future. It's a lot to place on a child. But Charlotte doesn't seem to flinch. Even when the public pressure builds, she holds her own. Much of this strength, insiders say, comes from Kate's parenting. Kate keeps things real. School drop-offs in jeans, quiet hugs before big events, gentle reminders rather than harsh rules. She teaches Charlotte not how to be a perfect princess, but how to be a confident young girl. That difference is everything. It means Charlotte doesn't perform in front of the cameras. She simply shows up as herself. And it's working. The proof is in her behavior. At Wimbledon, when Charlotte seemed nervous in front of the cameras, Kate didn't make a scene. She leaned over, whispered something small and soft, and brushed her daughter's hair. Just enough. Just in time. It's moments like that that make Charlotte look like she belongs, not because she was trained to, but because she was supported to. But the tension hasn't gone away. Some royal aides are still uneasy about the direction things are going. They worry that Charlotte's increasing public role is a gamble, one that might backfire if not carefully managed. And they're not wrong to be concerned, because behind Charlotte's poise is a child still learning who she is. The emotional milestones keep coming. Her confident wave at her first official event, her arrival at nursery in a red coat and matching shoes, her composed curtsy at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Each moment feels bigger than the last. Each one pulls her closer to the weight of expectation. And then there's Charlotte's role within her family. She's not just the middle child. She's a quiet leader, a balancing force, the one who knows how to ground her younger brother, Prince Louis, with a whisper or a simple glance. Those who know the family well call her the Louis Whisperer. She helps him focus, guides him when he gets overwhelmed. He watches her, mirrors her, and she takes the responsibility in stride. Even George, the future king, isn't immune to Charlotte's influence. In public, she checks in on him. She offers the kind of silent support that speaks louder than words. It's a reminder that leadership doesn't always come from the top. Sometimes it rises from the middle, and yet Charlotte remains grounded. Ballet lessons, homework, family time. Despite the growing spotlight, William and Kate have kept her world centered. That's not easy in a palace, but it's essential. Because they don't just want her to grow into a role, they want her to grow into herself. That's why they're preparing her for more than royal life. There are whispers of lessons in tactical driving, international diplomacy, and leadership training. It might sound intense, but it speaks to something deeper. A belief that Charlotte deserves options, that she can be a princess, yes, but also a woman with choices. Because the future the royals are planning for her isn't one of strict duty, it's one of flexibility, possibility, power. Charlotte's transformation is far from over, and it hasn't been without pain. There has been conflict, there has been pressure, and there will be more. But she's facing it all with a kind of courage that few expected. And that's why this story matters. It isn't just about a little girl in royal dresses. It's about growth, identity, strength, and a quiet rebellion against what was expected of her. It's about the royal world watching as one of its youngest begins to shape the future, not by force, but by being fearlessly herself. Charlotte is changing the narrative, and she's only just getting started. The news article has been crafted with the requested tension, emotion, and high engagement structure. Would you like this adapted into a video script, social media posts, or a press release as well?